This is Sasha. She's a developing fetus and the star of today's story. Billionaire's Baby Surprise by Mia Caldwell. The story starts with Sandra, a young professional, out on the town to celebrate her new promotion. It was supposed to be one night, a harmless fling with Jake, a stranger she met at a nightclub. Instead, Jake is actually billionaire Wallace Whitcomb Jacoby and Sandra's new boss. Their resolve to forget the shared night of passion and behave as aloof professionals soon falls apart under the force of their mutual attraction. Sandra knows the sensible choice is to resign, not just because she can't keep her hands off her boss, but because the consequences of one night will last 9 months and beyond.
She was shocked when her doorbell rang at 9:30 that night, and May showed her visitor to her room a moment later. Sandra stared at Jake with open-mouthed wonder.
What are you doing here?
Her voice emerged as a shriek, and she quickly closed her mouth. Jake ran a hand through his hair, which was already disheveled. The top 2 buttons of his Oxford shirt were open. I finally learned from Eleanor around 3 p.m. that you just abruptly resigned. He paced around her small bedroom with the grace of a jungle cat, and a sense of familiarity with the surroundings that showed his adeptness at fitting in with his environment. She lifted a shoulder, not compelled to get up from the bed. The object she held tightly in her hand was probably going to leave its trademark pressed into her hand from how hard she grasped it.
What difference does it make?
He stopped and stared at her. It makes a huge difference, Sandra. You can't just disappear like that. It was one stupid moment, one kiss. I get that you don't want me, or maybe you do, but only physically. I swear to you, I'll keep my hands to myself in future if you come back. She shook her head.
It wasn't that. Well, not entirely.
Sandra bit her lip, struggling with how much to reveal about Eleanor's motives. Finally, with a sigh of defeat, she said,
I found out Eleanor picked me because I'm chubby and outside your race, not because my skills impressed her or because I had done a good job. I couldn't keep working in the position under those circumstances.
Jake looked bewildered as he dropped down onto the bed. I don't understand. What do you mean? Sandra supposed she should feel guilty for betraying Eleanor, but she couldn't muster the energy to even feign the emotion.
She's in love with you, or maybe she just wants to screw you. Whatever the case, she wants to make sure you don't screw around with yet another assistant. I guess she probably knows you're way out of her league, but she must gain some satisfaction from thwarting your office liaisons.
Jake's mouth was tight. I don't have office liaisons, Sandra. You're the first and only employee with whom I've ever crossed a line. I don't know what Eleanor said to give you that impression, but it must have been a misunderstanding.
Yeah, sure.
She was too tired to keep fighting about it.
It doesn't matter.
It does. You can't just leave me, the company. You have a job to do, Sandra, and I need you. She rolled her eyes.
Please. There are 10 more people in the admin pool who are qualified to replace me.
Jake's lips skinned back. You signed a contract to give 30 days of notice before resigning. She shrugged.
So? Are you going to wreck my career prospects with a bad reference?
Did he plan to ruin her life? Too late. It's a legally binding agreement.
So sue me.
With a cavalier motion, she tossed the white stick in her hand at the man sitting on the foot of her bed.
Good luck winning against a sick, exhausted, pregnant woman.
As Jake picked up the stick, seemingly on autopilot, his gaze confused as he looked down at it. She couldn't help giggling. It was the laugh of hysteria and panic rather than amusement. And she slapped a hand over her mouth to stifle it before it could escalate to the mad cackling of a lunatic. You're pregnant? He asked after a long pause, as though he'd been trying to comprehend a complex medical study rather than a simple digital word. pregnant.
Congratulations,
She said with a hint of mocking.
It is yours, but I'm sure you'll want DNA tests or whatever rich guys do to get out of pain for their mistakes.
Jake carefully set the pregnancy test on the bed beside himself. We won't need a DNA test. Her eyes widened with surprise.
Wow, that's generous of you, Jake, but if you're planning to pay for a termination and bypass the need for establishing paternity, I won't do it.
That's a terrible assumption, Sandra. He glared at her. I didn't ask you to. It's your decision, but I want you to keep it. She paused, the righteous anger she'd been stirring like a spoon in a cauldron freezing in her veins.
You do?
Of course, it's our baby. We need to do the right thing here. Sandra nodded, surprised by the surreal turn of events. When she had come home from work that morning to find May leaving a bag from the corner pharmacy on her bed, all thoughts of the wreck of her career had fled when she'd seen the box with the digital pregnancy test inside. Her friend had given her a compassionate look, but hadn't spoken as she had slipped from the room. It had taken Sandra hours to work up the nerve to pee on the stick, and less than 3 minutes for one word to drastically alter the course she'd plotted for her future. Almost immediately, she'd known she would have the baby, because she supported the right to choose, and it was her choice to keep it. As she had sat in stunned silence, trying to process what had happened and figure out what to do next, the last thing she had expected was for Jake to be okay with it.
I know you're going to be upset with me for not telling you how it all comes out, but if I told you, you'd be missing out on a terrific reading experience. Go to the library and ask for this book, Billionaire's Baby Surprise by Mia Caldwell. And if you like that book, be sure to check out Miss Caldwell's other books, including Billionaires Don't Like Nice Girls, Alpha Billionaire's Bride, 2 Heirs for the Billionaire, The Billionaire's Triplets, Undercover Billionaire Boss, The Billionaire's Baby Bargain, The Billionaire's Wife, The Billionaire's Nanny, Rescued by the Billionaire, Alpha Billionaire's Bride Part 2, The Billionaire's Fraud Fiancé, Snowed In with the Billionaire, Faith and the Billionaire's Baby, Billionaire Baby Blues, The Billionaire's Desire, Love and the Billionaire's Twins, Billionaire's Baby Deception, The Way to a Billionaire's Heart, Billionaire's Matchmaker, Scottish Billionaire's Baby, Billionaire Bad Boys, Fake Bride, Bought by the Billionaire, Cherished by the Billionaire, The Billionaire Cowboy's Carolina Girl, The Billionaire's Baby Bargain, The Skipper and the Billionaire Playboy, Beauty and the Billionaire, Expecting the CEO's Baby, A Date with a Secret Billionaire, The Billionaire's Mistaken Mistress, Billionaire's Masquerade, Joining the Billionaire's Family, Designed for the Billionaire, Billionaire's Marriage Arrangement, Kidnapping the Billionaire's Baby, Falling for the Secret How did she write all these? Falling for the Secret Billionaire, The Billionaire's Secret, Billionaires and Beach Bums, Billionaire's Perfect Storm, What a Billionaire Wants, Serving the Billionaire, The Beach Billionaire's Baby, The Billionaire's Mountain Retreat, Love Song for the Billionaire, Stranded with the Billionaire, The Billionaire's Snow Date, Hope and the Billionaire's Triplets, Destiny and the Billionaire's Family, Billionaire's Runaway Princess, and finally, Broke. I'm Abe Grasp, and I hope to see you next time on Novel Doodles.